Good morning, student. Today we are going to study about numericals of elasticity of demand. Okay, student. Today we are going to start our numericals of price elasticity of demand. Student, as you all are familiar with the formula of elasticity of demand, which is percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price of the commodity. You can write this formula as this: ED equals to percentage change in QD divided by percentage change in price. Or when we change this formula in the form of numerical method, then we will find that elasticity of demand equals to delta Q upon delta P into P upon Q. Okay, so this is only the one formula, so we can write it as by three different ways. Like the first, second, third, you can write this formula in three different ways. Okay, so in most of the time you will find numerical questions from this method only. This is the same method by this way, or you can say by this way. So these two ways you will find the numerical questions. Okay, so always remember that elasticity of demand equals to percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price of the commodity. You can write it as elasticity of demand equals to delta Q upon delta P into P upon Q. Now student, what is this P, Q and delta Q and delta P? Student, let us see this formula in this way. Okay, whenever you do or whenever you start your question, first of all just make this P and Q like this. Okay, first of all you make the P and then Q. This P represents price, this Q represents quantity, and this P represents the initial price, the starting price, and this P1 represents the new price. This Q represents the initial quantity, this Q1 represents the new quantity. Okay student, so delta Q means change in quantity, which you can calculate by Q1 minus Q, and this delta P represents change in price, which you can calculate P1 minus P, like this. Okay, delta Q equals to Q1 minus Q, delta P equals to P1 minus P, and this P is your initial price, which is this, and this Q is your initial quantity, which is this. Okay student, so you can put these terms in this numerical formula and you will easily calculate your answer. Okay, now as for your better convenience, I written these variables with their names, like delta Q change in quantity, delta P change in price, P initial price, Q initial quantity. Okay student, so this you can also write as like this. Okay, P is the price, Q is the quantity. Percentage change in price, this column represents percentage change in price, and this column represents percentage change in quantity demanded. Okay student, now let's move to our next part, which is delta Q. How we can calculate delta Q? Delta Q represents the change in quantity or percentage change in quantity. As you all are familiar with the calculation of percentage, like delta Q, while calculating delta Q or while calculating percentage change in quantity demanded, first of all you have to calculate Q1 minus Q. Okay, like this: Q1 minus Q divided by Q, which is the initial quantity, and into 100, so that it can convert it into percentage. So by this you can easily calculate delta Q. In case of delta P, change in price or percentage change in price, again the procedure is same: P1 minus P, new price minus initial price, divided by P initial price into 100 for percentage. So by this you can easily get your delta P. Okay, delta Q, delta P. This is your initial price, initial quantity. By putting these into this formula, you can easily find your answer, or you can easily get your answer. You can see, let us move to a numerical question, like as the price of peanut packet increases by 5%, the number of peanut packet demanded fall by 8%. In this form, first of all you have to write formula, which is ED equals to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Okay, percentage change in price. So you can see that the price of peanut packet increases by 5%. It means it is increases by 5%. Okay, this is your price, and the number of peanut packet demanded fall by 8%, and your QD, quantity demand, which is 8%. 8% fall and 5% increase. So by putting these two terms in our formula, we can easily get percentage change in quantity demanded, which is 8, percentage change in price, which is 5. Okay, so 8 upon 5, and by converting it, by dividing it, we can easily get 1.6. Okay, you can easily get 1.6. Okay, so student, let's move to our next question, which is find out the elasticity of demand on the basis of the following data: price and quantity. Now the next question which you will find in this form, you will find question in two forms, like this and this. In this form, price is already given. This is your new price. P1 is this your is new price. This is your initial price. Q1 is your initial quantity, and Q1 is your new quantity. So Q is the old quantity, Q1 is the new quantity. So when price of a commodity is rupees 10, quantity demanded is 20, and when price of a commodity increases to 20, the quantity demanded falls at 50. So we can easily do it with the help of the formula ED equals to delta Q upon delta P into P upon Q. Now in this case, delta Q we easily calculate 15 minus 20, which is minus 5. Okay, now delta P we can easily write as 20 minus 10, which is 10, and P we have 10, Q we have 20. Okay, so we have all the four variable. Now put these variable in this formula. You can easily get ED equals to delta Q, which is minus 5, upon delta P, which is 10, into P upon Q. So you can solve it and you will get 1 upon 4, and when you convert this, you will get 0.25%. Okay student, so that's it for today. This is your numerical question. I will send you the numerical. Solve it. In case if you have any doubt, you are free to ask. Okay student, thank you for today class. Stay safe, stay healthy.